we're going to get things started off with this. Well, you guys know that July is shaping up to be a massive weekend. And one of those, or a massive month, I should say, and one of those movies that is opening up that looks pretty massive is the new Jurassic World film that is coming out. And now, according to Deadline, they're saying Jurassic World Rebirth is heading to 115 million plus, up to 130 million plus 5-day opener over the July 4th stretch. This is what Deadline has to say. Universal's reboot of Jurassic World Rebirth, it's not really a reboot, starring Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey, is shaping up for a $115 million to $135 million 5-day, according to the 3-weekend tracking released Thursday morning. This is the second Jurassic movie to open on a Wednesday in Universal's history after 2001's Jurassic Park 3, which did $85 million over its first Wednesday to Sunday. Jurassic World Rebirth is hot across the board, with men and women unaided in the first choice. In the latter, men under 25 are a bit stronger, followed by women under 25. Numbers are slightly behind that of 2022's Jurassic World Dominion, which opened to 145 million. But note, it's still early in the campaign. There's no denying that Rebirth could be massive. Dominion, which was shot during COVID, finaled at $376.8 million domestic and $1 billion worldwide. Okay. So one of the first things that we've got to point out here that's in the article is that 115 to $135 million that they're currently projecting, and they are saying it's still early, they really haven't started truly ramping up the marketing yet, but that is for the 5-day weekend. Okay. That will not be the official opening weekend. It won't count the extra days. So the official opening weekend right now, they're saying could come in somewhere around $100 million, which when you think about that, in today's kind of box office era that we're in, $100 million opening for a franchise that a lot of people thought might be done would actually be pretty strong. And then, of course, after the $100 million opening, and it could be bigger than that, the question becomes, will it have legs? Will it continue to go on and do bigger and bigger and bigger business? Will it get suffocated out by Superman and Fantastic Four? Or will just so many people be loving and going to the movies, it won't really matter? So, Rob, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to see that first number, 115, 135, and think, oh my God, but you got to keep in mind that is the 5-day opening weekend, which puts it around $100 million for the opening weekend. Rob, do you think these estimates are accurate? You don't think so? You think it's going to be much bigger than this? What do you think?
It's going to be much big. These guys are too low. You know, I mean, I think, remember, John, dinosaurs eating people. I mean, never underestimate the power. And it's not just domestic. I mean, look, I think the trailers have been great. I think the fact that they're leaning into the horror of it all, you know, that scene in the water was something that was in the original Jurassic Park novel that they weren't able to do at the time back in 93. I think this movie is going to make a lot more money than that. I mean, this is a big, I think people underestimate, because we're so used to Jurassic Park movies, because this is the 7th one, but there's always more kids that haven't seen a Jurassic Park movie in the theater, and they're going to go, and they're going to take their parents, and they're going to want to go again. And this movie's going to make a lot of money. I think these estimates are low.
You know, one of the things that we don't really talk about much, and I haven't heard the conversation, come around to this a lot, is that I think a lot of people, including us, lose sight of the fact that the writer for this movie is the guy coming back who did the original adaptation for Steven Spielberg's first Jurassic Park. This is the same writer who did that one. And I think a lot of us have been looking at the trailers for this movie, right? And we've been looking at it and say, you know what? The second one wasn't very good, but this one looks surprisingly good. I mean, when I look at the trailers for this, they seem to carry this X factor, that this intangible, this something about them that just draws me in a little bit more than the ones that we've had previously in the last couple of years. And maybe that has to do with the screenwriter. Maybe that is, look, I've also got to believe, and we said this before, but if Mahershala Ali and Scarlett Johansson are coming into this, they must have liked what they read in the scripts. I think this is probably going to be, look, I know this is a bit of a wild stab, but Rob, I think this is going to be the best Jurassic Park movie maybe since the original. Again, I won't know that till I see it, and its ultimate box office will really depend on how good or bad the film is, but I think this could be the best one we've had since the original one. Where are you seeing it going?
I totally agree with you. Although I really like The Lost World. I think there's a scene in The Lost World where they're on the glass, the piece of glass that's when the truck is hanging over the thing. I think it's one of Spielberg's greatest in terms of directing a suspense moment, one of his greatest moments. But I think you're right. I think that what this is tonally, this is going to give us something new. I think one of the things about the first Jurassic World movie, which I didn't dislike, it just seemed like we'd seen it before. Like the idea of the park actually opening was great, but it was kind of this has a different feel to it. And I think maybe it's because they're leaning into the horror elements of it. I mean, this feels like it's nasty. I've always felt that the Jurassic Park movies, because they're like kid friendly, they've always kind of had they only could go so far.
Right.
You can have a Tyrannosaurus chasing somebody or eating somebody, a bad lawyer in a outhouse, but you couldn't go into that alien area where some really horrible things could happen. And this looks like they might be halfway between eating that lawyer and getting to the alien body horror. I mean, it looks, I think that all the marketing for it's been great. It's made me interested in it. And I think that there's an edge to this, and it might be like you said it, that sort of intangibility that maybe the character interaction, the fact that you have, as you pointed out, Mahershala Ali and Scarlett Johansson, that's some star power too. You've got them coming off of great work, box office successes, and Academy Award wins. So the pedigree here is pretty high.
We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Stitch Fix. Guys, you know I love movies, but you also know I have absolutely no fashion sense, and I absolutely hate shopping for my clothes. But thankfully, I have found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. With Stitch Fix, I get a stylist who understands my style, size, and budget, and they do all the shopping for me. Because look, shopping and figuring out style can be overwhelming, especially for somebody like me. When it comes to getting dressed, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. That's why I love having a Stitch Fix stylist. They really know what works for me. I get pieces that make me look great, and it's a real confidence boost. You just give your stylist your size, style, and budget preferences. You get to order boxes when you want and how you want, no subscription required. They send you personalized pieces, and the fit is always on point. No stores, no crowds, no stress. Just personalized looks that you will love. So guys, make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Campea. That's stitchfix.com/Campea. All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? They're aiming right now. They're saying this Jurassic movie is going to open in the triple digits, like up to $135 million for its 5-day. But I mean, they're only really starting to truly ramp up the marketing right now. It could be higher than that. Rob thinks it's going to be higher. Do you think it's going to be higher? Maybe you think it's going to be lower. And what do you think about the looks of it so far? I actually think this looks pretty good, to my surprise. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.